There is something that people do not realize. When God is using you, when God is about to use you for a very strong something, when He's choosing you to be His servant, He will start taking away things from your life. Slowly, you will start feeling like, why am I lying? Why don't I keep telling the truth? Because lying will start not sitting straight with you. And then you will give up lying. And then you will see that you are giving up the dress code that used to work for you. These clothes, every time you walk around, you don't feel comfortable. You change the dress code. And then you change all these things all about you. And then you keep changing and changing and changing and changing. And it is rapid and you don't feel any struggle. You don't feel you are struggling to do these things. When you feel like, even the friends, cutting off toxic friends from your circle, you feel like it is getting easy. You praying and doing all these things for God starts getting easy because the grace has been released to you. There is that moment where it starts being easy. And then there is always this test that comes at the end for God to prove that now you are mine. Now you are mine. This test is what most people fail. Let me tell you, in Genesis 22, I was discussing it in the short, but then I decided to make a very huge, a longer video. The scripture starts like this. In Genesis 22, you start from verse 1. It starts like that. After all these things, you know, God called this man. This man left his land, left his people, went all the way. Everything God did, built altars for him, did all these things for God. But then, after all these things, they are major changes, of course, because relocating for God is not easy. But then, after all these things, this is what the Bible is telling you. God visits him and tells him, I want your son. In the morning, take your son, sacrifice him for me. Or in the evening, do this for me. This is the final. It was like the final. I want to know, are you mine? Are you mine? You know, for most people, this is when it gets hard. Everyone has this something they love so much. You know, me I have servants of God that we always talk. We always have this chat, like friendly chat, where we open up to each other. So somebody's like, I had this girlfriend and God told me she's not the one, but I could not let go. I could not let go. There is that something that you love so much that God will test you with. Sometimes it will be a job, because there is a servant of God that told me, God told him to leave that job he had. It was a well-paying job, to go somewhere and start a church and be there for some time. Then God will provide him employment. But this is a job that had allowances. This is a job where his children were paid for school fees and everything. It was hard. I tell you, these are the things God is going to bring. Let me tell you, you will live lying alone. You will live for small things that you will be able to let go. You'll be, I'm letting go for God. I'm letting go for God. I'm letting go for God. But then there will be that something. And once you let it go for God, that is when the door opens. That is when the doors that you have never imagined will start opening. Let me tell you, it is hard. It will be like cutting a piece of your heart. Oh God. Every servant of God goes through this. It will be like cutting a piece of your heart. It will be like cutting a piece of your heart. But if you cannot let go, I'm telling you, this is very emotional for me. If you cannot let go withholding nothing. There is that song that says withholding nothing. Withholding nothing. I surrender all. When you sing this song, I surrender all. I surrender all. Withholding nothing. I don't know the lyrics and all, but it has withholding nothing. When you do exactly what that song says, and you let go of what is vile, what is not important, what does not please God, and then give your whole self in, like a whole total surrender, that God, now I'm yours. I am yours. Use me for anything. I am yours. Do anything with me. That is the point when you will see God dealing with you differently. He gave this man a name. You are the father of believers. Your faith. Loving God more than you love anything. That is true worship. True worship. Surrender. A total surrender. Loving nothing above God. Total surrender. This is your week. This is your sign to do a total surrender. May the Almighty bless you.